Hello everyone, this is HuskyStarcraft here, back with some more Heart of the Swarm action. This time it's going to be between Whitera in the bottom right side, and his Grandmaster opponent up at the top left side is going to be NSH Golem, or Golem, depending on which part of the world you're from, or which English dialect you prefer to use. Either way, it is going to be Golem versus Whitera. Now, I want to talk about some stuff here really quickly. Number one, I just woke up and I really wanted to cast some StarCraft, so my voice is a little bit raspy. But hey, what can I say? I am a complete StarCraft addict. And number two, this is going to be the first game on the newest patch for Heart of the Swarm that I have cast. And you may say, Husky, there wasn't a ridiculous amount of balance changes or anything like that in that patch. Correct, but they did change some of the casting UI. Now, I actually haven't messed around with this too much because I kind of want to learn about it with you guys. But as you can see here, there are some more things that we can learn about in the tabs up here. We have the name panel, minerals, army supply, units killed, APM, and EPM. These are all the same. But I believe that there's a structures tab now. There it is, and you can actually, I think, click on these. So if we're over here, yep, it will take you to those. So watch my cursor right here, going up here. I click on the command center. Boom, baby. They finally implemented that. That was something I've actually been pushing for a very long time. Let me see if the production tab does the same thing. Can I click? Yes, they did it! Thank you, Blizzard. They have listened. And now we can easily spot where these buildings are just by clicking on the individual tabs here, so that is freaking sweet. Units lost, they left the same. Upgrades, you can see, I believe, the upgrades that are done, if I believe that is correct, and active forces here, which I also believe is army units. Is that the new army tab? Anyways, we're going to be learning these new hotkeys and everything together. And APM tab, everyone loves a good old APM tab. So anyways, I kind of like the structures tab. You can see exactly what they have. Now keep in mind, this is not the production tab. This is how many of each structure they have. So now we have 2 pylons. We can cycle through them quite easily, which I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. Try and see if there's anything else that they've really changed in here. But overall, pretty darn awesome. So, hey, whoa, look on the minimap, This little guy is blinking. Is that something they added as well? When a unit is under attack, it now blinks. Yes, it does. So that makes spectating a little bit easier, and you guys can also easily make fun of me if I miss something now, because you guys will see it, and sometimes I will not, because I kind of get so into the game that unfortunately I cannot just stare at the little minimap. But apparently that's another thing they've added. The timer, I think, also looks a little bit different, if I'm not mistaken here. It looks kind of more out in the open. And it looks like this is different a little bit down here. Did they change anything else? I don't really think so. Were those there before? I think so. I don't know. Every time they change a lot of stuff, I'm like, oh look, they changed how the cybernetics core looks. Wow, that looks really great. And everyone's like, Husky, they didn't change the cybernetics core. What are you doing? Why are you tripping so hard? Now we do have a factory on the way here for Golem, getting it after 2 barracks, which is kind of an interesting choice. We do have an expansion on the way for Whitera, also the mothership core, and here's these much larger. If you guys didn't watch my my last video, you can see that the decals on the ground are much larger. So if you unlock those, they look a lot cooler. Apparently for Terran, they only come out of the doorway, but for Protoss, man, we're showing off. We got the blink party going on, as it does show it 4 times there. Plus, of course, it is on the side of the building as well. So definitely some of the minor changes there, cosmetic changes. And here we go, unbuildable plates. This is something they also added. Basically, Blizzard is responding to criticism that their maps did not have basically supply depots down here to prevent building, and Blizzard added their own. So now there are unbuildable plates at the bottom of the ramp. So good changes across the board so far from Blizzard. And a lot of people are still saying, hey, it is not enough. They need to be doing it quicker. I, for one, am quite excited that they are at least listening to the feedback and trying as quickly as they can to make those changes. Now we do have the Stalker. There is Broader Slow here, so that Stalker is going to go down. Does manage to get the Reaper there, though. So I almost want to say that was worth it. Yes, Whitera ended up losing more, but killing out that first Reaper is amazing, because now it's not going to be scouting the base. It's not going to be jumping up and down. It's not going to be combat regenerating its health. So definitely a victory there, I would say, for the Protoss. But at the same time, not a huge loss for Golem. He does have another Reaper on the way here. So, yeah. What are you doing, probes? It's time to get back to work. Maybe they are too stressed out the fact that there is indeed going to be a couple of Marines and Marauders heading on back over here. These workers should definitely get to work, though, as having that many idle probes is not going to be a good spot for Whitera to be in, although he needs to focus on these Stalkers. Notice how he's focusing down the Marines because he wants to kill everything else with his Mothership Core if possible, though he is going to end up losing another Stalker there and the Widowmine is going to be pushing down here pretty soon. Still some idle workers happening, but we do see the Widowmine going to be burrowing. Is it going to be able to detonate? Yes, it does. Doesn't kill the Mothership Core, though. Whiterod quickly doing the math in his head, realizing that there is not going to be enough Widowmines there to kill off that Mothership Core. Does take the damage. Notice how he used Envision here, though, so this is allowing the Mothership Core to detect burrowed and cloaked units. I believe it's yeah, detect cloaked, burrowed, and hallucinating units. One of the new abilities it got, so it does work as an early observer, which is pretty awesome because it makes those Widowmine rushes not nearly as effective. It kind of balances it out. One of those things we saw before with the Warhounds in the early game is that they were so overpowered. Blizzard took them out. Then Widowmines were super overpowered in the early game, so Blizzard made it so Protoss can detect it there. So we'll see if Widowmines are going to be a consistent option here for our Blue Terran Golem, as he does have 2 Widowmines on the ground, even put ones on the high ground, which is kind of cool. You can see that this one right here, it reaches about halfway through the entrance. If you happen to walk through this way, you will get attacked from the high ground. Pretty cool stuff there. Starport going to be on the way. Multiple barracks on the way as well. We actually have a Stargate on the way here for Mr. Whitera. What is the plan with this Stargate? Keep in mind that Protoss used to have to open up with Robo because that was the only detection that Protoss had, but all of a sudden Mothership Core can be a detector if used correctly, and you don't blow all that energy or anything like that. So we shall see what this Stargate is having in store here for Whitera. I'm actually confused because he's getting Blink as well, so he's going to have the most mobile Protoss army I think we've ever seen. Still can't get over these unbuildable plates. I'm really excited about that, because you can still kill them off if you want to end up building there, but really no reason to, I would say, for either player to end up killing those. We do have, look at this, using the detection ability. Once again, it does last for 30 seconds. Basically, he's looking for Widowmines is what he's doing, is he's kind of minesweeping through the center of the map and playing a new version of Minesweeper, man. And it doesn't say the range. I'm assuming it's as far as the Mothership Core can see itself is my guess on exactly how that works. But new abilities, we'll learn a little bit more about it as time goes on. We do have a Robo on the way. I mean, you eventually still have to get out an observer. You can't rely on manually detecting everything, especially in the late game. I mean, in the early and mid game, you can probably get away with it, but you definitely have to be careful, because if you lose that Mothership Core, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble. The little blinking thing on the mini-map is something I'm still going to have to get used to, as there's the observer going to be on the way right now. As the awesome Terran music starts to kick in, we're having Battle Hellions, SCVs on the way, and we have Infantry Weapons level 1 and Vehicle Plating level 1. Don't think I've ever seen those 2 upgrades going at the same exact time, so definitely an interesting choice here. And we do have, Oracle on the way. And remember, Oracles have changed many times over the, it's almost tempted to say years, but I guess a couple of weeks is years in StarCraft time, because Blizzard has been making a ton of changes. Although, I believe it was Dustin Browder who made a post recently saying they're pretty content with where units are sitting at now, and that doesn't mean they aren't going to make a lot of big changes, but what it means is that they want to see how are these games playing out over the next couple of weeks. So we're not going to be seeing 2 patches every single week like we were seeing before. Instead, they're going to slow down a little bit, take a step back, and see if they like where these units are kind of settling. And if they don't like it, then they can still always remove or add units. I would not put it past Blizzard at all to do something like that. We do have Psystorm now on the way, +1 attack on the way. Definitely an interesting choice by both these players. Mech Bio, I guess it sounds cooler if you say Biomech for Golem, and we have Psystorm with plus attacks on the way for Whitera, so I'm not quite sure what to expect. Both these players are on 2 bases, and we are going to see a move out here. He's just going to have to blink away, as Whitera, realizing he cannot take that on, did force a stem on a couple of those units, but medevacs are en route to go ahead and heal those up. And remember, Widowmines can be absolutely devastating, but one thing I like so far, at least, about the beta is that players are kind of going with a crazy unit composition as far as Terran are concerned. You start to see Battle Hellions, you start to see more Reapers, you start to see Widowmines mixed in. Even though they're going bio, at the same time, they're still getting non-bio brand new units. However, remember, Battle Hellions do count as a bio unit, so they can benefit from the medevacs here. And oh, there it is, gonna be slowing those units down. Is there going to be a storm thrown on top of that? Doesn't look like he was quick enough here. And remember, that ability, Time Warp, slows those bio balls down substantially. I mean, it really slows anything down that's inside of it, but you can't storm right there. He's got to be careful there. He can't run inside. It's basically a force field, but much better. And it does look like the Hellbats here are going to be trying to engage. Sorry, I still keep calling them Battle Hellions. I still feel like that's a better name. But regardless, they are going to attack right here, and it does look like our Terran player doing quite a bit of damage with those Battle Hellions. and it's got to be pushing forward. Does manage to force the blink away. This army is a little bit low on HP. The storms not doing as much devastating damage as Whitera had hoped for. Units lost here. You can see heavily going to be favoring Golem right now, but guess what? This Nexus is pissed. You got to be careful. Charge in here. It does a lot of damage. No storms throw down. The Archon is going to begin morphing in. The Oracle gets taken out. Is this Archon actually going to finish? Nope, it gets taken out. But at the same time, this Fireball did back itself into a corner. This Nexus up to 1 kill already. Cleaning up some of these weakened units though, and you better watch out for Nexuses, because with the Mothership Core, they can become mighty terrifying. 3 Marauders though with +1 attack. Got to go straight to town on these Stalkers, especially the medevac backup here. The Widowmine gonna be checking it out right here, and does take out 1 Zealot. But other than that, he's got to be careful because those Blink Stalkers are pissed. They're going to be pushing up with more Zealots here. Now, is the macro of both these players where it needs to be? Whitera's macro is actually slipping here quite a bit as he is focused on this battle in the center of the map. Can't say that I blame him because he's barely hanging on, but at the same time, he's got to warp in more reinforcements. There's 5 Zealots right there. What's his production looking like, though? He does have quite a few gateways and is not supply blocked, so he can easily spend all this money here. Maybe he's waiting to see what his opponent has. Maybe he's waiting to try and secure this expansion, building 3 probes at a time. But he definitely needs to start cutting in to that money bank that he has, and the Hellbats here, I think they even changed how their flame looks, but I could be tripping as per usual. But either way, the Mothership Core here, there's no anti-air left, only a single Marine, so Mothership Core is never looking so scary as the army is now forced to retreat right now, but more reinforcements are going to be streaming in here. Stalkers, Mothership Core is what Whitera has to offer, but he also has a lot of money to spend. He does have an Immortal on the way. A non-stop battle for the center of the map, and somehow these Hellbats pushing this army to its limits here as the Marauder in the back just getting in tons of kills, will eventually get taken out, and Whitera will be the victor in this battle, intercepting those reinforcements. Whitera still, though, a little bit behind, and here's more of a battle. It's going to go straight for the medevacs. Does end up losing a Stalker, though, during that, and quite an even exchange here, but Whitera able to recover his losses by securing an earlier third. Do we have a command center on the way for Golem? No, it looks like he wants to go for a little bit more. Oh, you can even click on upgrades. That is so cool. And is it U? Is that the, oh wait, what's the upgrades tab? We got to learn this together. G is the upgrade tab. So you can see every single upgrade they have in the game. Blink, Psystorm, Warp Gate, and +1. We have the 1 attack, 1 armor done for our Terran player, Combat Shields, Marauder Slow, and Stim Pack. Back to the production tab, though, you can see that the 4th base is on the way for Whitera. If Whitera can secure this 4th base, he is going to secure this win. If he can hold on to this 3rd base, he's going to be a little bit ahead, but still does not have probes in this gas, even though he would definitely like to be doing that just so we can get more and more Archons, more and more Storms out on the field. We do have Zealot Legs going to be researched. Nothing left at the Templar Archives because it's only got 1 upgrade in StarCraft 2. But we do have a Forge on the way. There's Storms right there. Are we going to see more Oracles? That's kind of what I'm wondering here. With the Time Warp Psystorm combo, that is going to be absolutely devastating. Even SCVs are mixed in here. I think that Golem realizes he's got to go all in. He's got to try and punish the fact that Whitera doesn't have charge. He's got to punish the fact that Whitera has double expanded here. And does he have an army advantage? Yes, he does. 79 to 58. He is way behind in workers, though, as it is 74 to 39. So right now, this is his only chance to win. He's got to swing in and do all the damage right now. He's got to kill out this army. This will be the deciding battle. Can he actually do it? So far, off to a good start, killing that 1 Archon there. He may need to go to the natural, though, because this Nexus will sit back and do lots of damage. So far, the control's been pretty good. Dodging those storms. No EMPs, though, in sight. So he's got to watch out for more and more storms. Do these have enough energy? Yes, they do. Whiffs one of the storms, though. Has managed to retain the majority of his army. Taking a look at the army supply, 83 to 62. Whitera's just got to buy time for 1 or 2 more warpins. There's the charge forward. Takes out a High Templar. Does lose a couple of units in the process, but no more storm in sight. I think only 1 High Templar remains. And here he goes. Got to swing out through. Zealot Legs not quite done yet. As the Hellbat's able to kill off a lot of these Zealots. Can Whitera actually hold here? Keeping an eye on the army supply. It is a huge favoring towards the Terran, but he is running out of units here quickly, and I think it's quickly swinging back into Whitera's favor here. He will end up losing some more units, but you got to remember, all Whitera has to do here is buy more time. Time is on his side as long as he can keep warping in units here, because with the Nexus here, able to hold it up. Whitera using almost every single new unit in this game, and at least for Protoss here, just the only thing we haven't seen is the Tempest, and it does look like Whitera will hold, which means he may be able to take out this game because, well, he's got a lot of bases here, and hopefully I didn't miss anything as I did hide the UI of this expansion up here. Yep, it is ready to go. Has not begun mining there, but he can safely fall back on that expansion. No, he does have a Tempest on the way, so I think he's officially used every single new unit here. The only thing he hasn't really done is use the Sentry's Hallucination hallucinate ability, which is now doesn't cost anything to research. What is this bro doing? It's got the worst gas mining path ever. There it goes. Finally falls back in line. Whitera able to hold on. Even though he's behind in units lost, he is ahead in the economy. So it's kind of good night, good fight, unfortunately, for Golem here, as he's had great micro, he's had great unit composition, but he decided to go all in. And this is what happens when you go all in and don't get the momentum you need, although he is trying to reinforce this with every single unit that he can. Surprisingly, he's building Hellbats instead of Hellions because it takes the Hellbats much longer to get down there. But still hanging on, he's not that far behind in supply. The problem, though, is the worker count 27 to 73, unless he can somehow make a miracle push here. He's got to try and take out the Immortal, does manage to get it, but has nothing left to kill off the Archons. This is not looking good for Golem. Now, for the first time, is falling way, way behind in the supply. Don't even think he's going to be able to kill off this Archon, and even if he does, is it going to be enough? I think the answer is no. The Archon does go down, last shot from that Marauder, but these Stalkers got to be able to clean up the rest, and even if those Stalkers die, who cares? Whitera has 2,000 minerals. He's got 4 bases. He's able to start mining gas at full capacity. He's got Tempest now, which are quite fun to see if you're a Protoss player. There's the double gas going to be going down. But at this point, while the first 80% of the game was really good, I think the last 20% is going to be anticlimactic. Just because, I mean, look, you're seeing long distance mining, you're seeing the command center lifting off from the main base. That means there's going to be less gas income for our Terran player Golem. But wait, where'd it go? What happened, Command Center? The Command Center gave up halfway through, and that's unfortunately not going to be very good for Golem. There he goes right there. I think there was units in the way, so the Command Center's like, I'm not going to land on those units. Are you crazy? But Whitera now, his upgrades are now at 3 attack, 1 armor. He's also got the shields upgrade on the way, more Tempest on the way, because why the hell not? When you're this far ahead and you're Whitera, you can pull out all the special tactics that you want. But I do have to hand it to Golem. That was quite a good game. Unfortunately for him, he wasn't able to seal out the deal. I do like how Whitera was able to get up the Nexus ability, using that quite a bit, using Time Warp. I think he only used that ability once, but he also used his Mothership Core to great effect. But at the same time, maybe Golem can force this into a late game, get the counter to the Tempest, and actually find himself back in this game, because now his income's not going to be that bad. I mean, yeah, it is still behind here, but he is mustering up quite the army. He is going to be scanning somewhere on the map, trying to spot his army. Wasn't able to see all of it there, but Whitera has his army quite well split. And Golem, I mean, you can see he's still playing furiously. He's got about 200 APM. Is going to kill off a single Zealot here, but that Zealot is going to alert Whitera that, hey, there's some units going to be attacking this route, and I think this is not a good idea from Golem, especially since that Zealot was able to spot it. Because remember, Zealots have cell phones, man. They all have their the new iPhone. They have the iPhone 36, man, so they're going to be calling up their buddies down here and say, hey, there's a lot of units on the way, so watch out for potential counterattack. However, I kind of like this from Golem. Yes, he's behind, but he's still trying to secure an expansion, still trying to get himself back in this game, and basically just trying to get maxed out as quickly as he can, even though Whitera is growing to a massive-sized, basically Protoss death ball at this point. But at least he's going to go out with a fight. He's not going to let Whitera take this easily, but still, Whitera has so much stuff that maybe it will end up being easy here. But we do have a couple more upgrades on the way for our Terran player here, Golem. But I mean, let's be honest, things are looking pretty darn grim, especially for that 1 Marine right there, as he's now dead. So definitely looking grim over there. Now, can our Terran player actually secure another base? That would be huge for him, because that's going to give him enough money to go ahead and get maxed out. But I don't think he has the money to even expand here, so he is still going to just rely on this. What's the army supply looking like? 130 to 114. Once again, Whitera, while he does have a probe count lead in this battle, it could still favor Golem, so we are about to find out. Remember, it all comes down to the army supply in the final battle, but the main problem is that Whitera, his production is out of control. Oh my god, that is so many gateways. He can even afford to throw down some more here. He is working on shield upgrades now, working on that +2. Here we go. This could be the last battle in the game, and I think it's going to be Storms, Tempest, Archons, Zealots, Immortals. Just gotta chew on through this army. Oh god, the humanity of that army is not looking good. They are all going to die. Whitera crushes through. There's the GG. Whitera making special tactics look easy, and also for those of you who don't know, Whitera tends to stay in a game a little bit longer, just to see exactly what his opponent has. I think that's actually what he's doing here, is he likes to see exactly what he had, what the timing of the expansion was. So he clicked on the minerals, clicked on the SCV, because during the game, he's got a pretty good read on what's going on, but he still likes to check for sure, just to see. Oh man, Archons look kind of sweet when they aren't glowing bright white. Wait, which There we go. That's what I'm looking for. God, I'm so bad at tilting the camera. Looks pretty darn awesome, but we got to see a lot of the new units used. I think we saw all the new units for Terran used as well. The buffed Reaper, the Battle Hellion / Hellbat, and the Widowmine, and we saw every single unit for Protoss. So that's what I'm talking about, man. Let me know what you think about the new UI changes. Did I actually forget anything about the new UI changes? Because I do forward good feedback directly to Blizzard. So guys, still stay mature, stay awesome. You guys are the best. And of course, I'll see you guys next time. Guys, by stay mature, I mean, don't be crazy. Don't be crazy on Reddit. Let's forward awesome feedback to Blizzard. Shh, it's our secret. Don't tell Reddit.